Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and unfortunately, it is not Victory Friday. It is another Friday where the New York Giants are on the losing end of a football game. 9 games in a row. The New York Giants have lost on Thursday Night Football, a record since the NFL merger back in, I think, 1960. Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk everything. We're going to talk about the game yesterday. We're going to talk about what's coming forward for the New York Giants. And I got to get some thoughts off my chest about this football team. Already 130 people in the building. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Light up the comment section for me. If you're still here, if you're still riding or dying with this football team, 1-3, 3-1, 4-0, whatever it is, give me a real one down in the comment section. I'm giving some shout-outs to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody. What up, Sloppy Top? Nope's in the building. What's up, Carl? What up, Joseph Cruz? Joey DeLuca? Corinne, how's it going? Super Boss Giovanni, Gerard, Reese, Calvin, Dr. Mr. Fi the 13th. That's Mr. Friday, 13th. There you go. Connect the dots there, Marsh. What up, Paul, George, Golden 16, Shay, what up? Brian, just because you ignored the sloppy top yesterday. I didn't ignore anyone, my man. Will Shaw, what up? What's up, Mr. Roy Ron? Cha's in the building. Yes, you are. The Bronx Boys here. Andre Sullivan, Giants Prod, Garcia Tattoo Studio, Intel, the developer. Stop aspects so much from this football team. I don't even know what that means. William, what's up, homie? Sloppy Top says, you were mad. I don't blame you. Yeah, I was mad. Giants lost a football game. They should have won. They should have won that game. Hypersonic says, Giants should have Joe Burrow. True or false? False? Why should the Giants have Joe Burrow? I would love Joe Burrow, but I don't know why they should have him. He says, and I was topping Jones. Pause. I don't think you could say that. Glenn says, please start another QB. Luis in the building. Burke's hanging out. Nope says, I wasn't here yesterday. I saw positives. There were definitely some things to be positive about. But I don't believe in moral victories. But we do have something to talk about that I did see yesterday that was a little bit encouraging. Dr. Mr. Friday the 13th says, how did we get so screwed from the face mask penalty? I don't know. That's one of the worst calls I've seen in NFL history. Not only did it back up the Giants 15 yards, it actually backed them up 30 yards because they should have got 15 yards from the penalty. And from where they would have been if they got the penalty awarded, they actually had to back up 30 yards. So that was a total drive killer. Every single one of those refs should be removed from being able to ref in the postseason this year. That is an inexcusable missed call. And I don't love calling for people to get fired, but I think all those refs should be fired. I don't think they should ever be allowed to ref in the National Football League again. Like, Smitty, you make that call on a noon game on Sunday? Sure. It's Thursday Night Football. The entire world is watching. You cannot afford to mess up a call like that on primetime football on the first drive of the ball game.
I love that. You said they should be barred from officiating the postseason.
They should.
I'm a fan.
They should not be allowed to ref the postseason. I think that whatever they had to do, Smitty, to get their certification to ref in the NFL, they should have to do it again.
They should.
They should have to go through all the classes again.
I mean, dude, there's some of those calls you just can't miss last night. And that's a drive killer. You changed the entire script of the game doing that. Like, people joke about there being a script. You, no joke, change the script to the football game by making a 30-yard penalty in the first half when the Giants had momentum.
Oh, that one sucked. I'm getting worked up again. It sucked. Shout out to Joey DeLuca coming in with the first super chat of the day. Joey, my man, love seeing you in the chat, bro. Keep bringing positivity. Keep bringing the energy, and keep being a real one. Why not challenge? Because you can't challenge penalties. You can't challenge penalties. Noodles to Goat says, I told you Jerry Jones paid for that win. If they let him pay for wins, I think they'd win a lot more games. Carl says, why can't we score a touchdown? That's a great question. I'm trying to figure out. If anyone has an answer as to why the Giants can't score a touchdown, let me know. And I'll send a letter to 1925 Giants Drive. How about that? Jay Fed says, it's obvious. I believe Giants will move on from Jones, but he's the best option of the 3 QBs. Is he? Wasn't even the best quarterback on the team last year. Ghetto Serguro Gito? G-E-T-O? I don't know how I'd say that, but I'm going to go Gito. What's up, Brody? Mike G! What's up, man? Cha says 1925 Giants way. Did I say drive? Giants way. My bad. I just started rooting for this team last week, so I don't really know.
We're new to this.
We're new to this. I heard they used to be called the Football Giants. Not sure why. I like saying it, though. Reese says in my CFL league, you can challenge penalty calls. Well, in America, you can't. American football, you can't. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Smitty, do you got anything to say about the game?
I mean,
I do a lot of talking on this show.
Listen.
You watched it with me, and I don't want me to persuade your thoughts. You have your own thoughts.
All right. There's a couple of glaring issues with this Giants team, and number one is quarterback. Clearly, Daniel Jones, even with elite protection, doesn't throw the ball down the field. Doesn't throw the ball down the field accurately the 3 to 4 times he does throw it more than 10 yards down the field a game. The secondary is not great. Missing Drew Phillips proved to be pretty huge last night. I think he's a bigger piece than we anticipated. And Cordell Flott was up and down, and we found out that Deontay Banks might stink. The bank is open all 7 days a week. That's pretty glaring. The O-line's great, though. I like the O-line. I like the trenches for the Giants. And that's how you know there's a good foundation built for a football team. But aside from Malik Nabers, Wan'Dale Robinson, I don't think there's much playmaking on this team. We wanted to run the ball. We rushed it 14 times. The average a yard a carry. 1 yard. One singular yard.
But Smitty, they stacked the box.
They stacked the box. But even with stacked boxes, I don't know if you look at the advanced analytics in the week leading up, but the Cowboys were the worst team at defending the run, even with a stacked box.
Yeah, the run game was a joke yesterday. I don't know if it was.
And that's unfortunate. The 100% of the blame can't be put on Daniel Jones.
No.
And we never said that Daniel Jones lost the football game for the Giants last night. But you're not going to win big football games with Daniel Jones.
That's why the wording I've been using is as such. The Giants did not lose the football game because of Daniel Jones, but the Giants did not win the game because of Daniel Jones. Yeah. That's what I am landing on my official take.
Now,
a lot of blame to go around.
It's just crazy. A guy got $140 million for one game.
One game.
Truly. There's people we talk about, being one-game wonders that, make teams overpay for. Daniel Jones legitimately, one time the Giants won because of him. It happened to be in the playoffs, and it happened to set the franchise back 5 years.
5?
That's generous. It's generous.
Look, yeah, I agree with everything you said. I really do. There were definitely some positives to take away. I don't believe in moral victories. But shit, man, when you're 1-3, even I don't want to always be negative all the time because it's supposed to be fun doing this job, and it's not really all that fun right now.
You know what it is? It's all about the you. Start watching Miami highlights, boys. Cam Ward, Cam Marino.
Cam Marino's going to save this team.
Yep.
You think Cam Marino's underthrowing Darius Slayton? You think Cam Marino's underthrowing Malik Nabers?
No, he's actually just flicking it, not even using his legs. Nope. Said we didn't look like total garbage. That's right. The defense played very solid. You held the Cowboys to 2 touchdowns.
6 points in the second half.
6 points in the second half.
How many times, Smitty, last night did we say, get a stop here? And then Daniel Jones, go do it. Go out. Now's the time, Danny boy.
You're asking Daniel Jones to do the bare minimum.
Score a touchdown.
Score a touchdown.
You literally start drives at the 30 now.
Or at least put your offense within the 5-yard line. I don't think the Giants got within the 5-yard line. They were at the 7. And then they did decline they're at the 8. They were at the 8 and declined the penalty.
To get to fourth and goal from the 3.
Goal from the 3. So the Giants never crossed the opponent's 5-yard line.
They never threw a pass into the end zone.
Never threw a pass into the end zone. I love that. I remember that last night. I was like, did Daniel Jones ever throw the ball past the pylon? No, not once.
I put a poll in the live chat saying, who's to blame, DJ, Daboll, defense, or drops? The fact that 30% Smitty have come in for drops and there was 3 drops in the game is incredible.
And they were all on the last drive. Like, you're not supposed to put yourself in that situation.
3 drops. You can't overcome 3 drops. Like, shoot, if Smitty, we lost 38-35, DJ lit it up, and on the final drive there were 3 drops, sure.
And
you scored 15 points.
And you guys think that, like, for the 30% that have clicked drops, you think the drops are more to blame than Daniel Jones? I understand if you think the drops are to blame, but the question is, who is the most to blame?
You know why the drops hurt so much, Smitty? Because the room for error is so small. Yep. It is the margin for error is
so
negative.
Water cooler conversation in your offices at work, everyone. When they ask about the Giants game, maybe they didn't watch it, maybe they were busy. They ask, why did the Giants lose last night? Or like, what went wrong with the Giants last night? What is the first thing that you're going to say to them?
They had 3 drops.
They had 3 drops. Like, that's the first thing you're going to say?
I can't believe that. I really can't believe that. Yeah, I don't think that's fair whatsoever. Did the drops help the Giants? No. Did the drops hurt the Giants? 1,000%.
You know what else hurt the Giants? Malik Nabers had another standout game, by the way, 115 yards on 12 catches. He only had 30 yards a rack. So what does that tell you? Daniel Jones just didn't hit Malik Nabers in stride. Didn't give him the opportunity to make a play after the catch of the ball.
Lil Farm says this game, it was drops. So 3 drops against the Dallas Cowboys is why you lost the football game?
You got in scoring position 5 times. 5 times you got a field goal.
So I'm now understanding, Smitty, for the Giants to win with Daniel Jones, they need to have elite protection.
Yep.
They need to have elite weapons. They can never drop the football, and they have to hold teams to 20 points every game. I mean, guys.
That would be the greatest statistical football team that's ever existed if that was the case.
If nobody outside of Daniel Jones can mess up for Daniel Jones to win a football game, I think we all got our answer there, right? Couple of super chats came in. Shout out to Giants Prod. $5 super chat laughing at us in the chat. Oh. Oh, man. As long as we can get receivers that never drop passes, O-line that never allows sacks, defense doesn't allow points, Daniel Jones is going to win a lot of football games.
Yep.
So we need the NFC Pro Bowl team and the AFC Pro Bowl team sprinkled in with a couple of legends.
And people and also people are saying that Daniel Jones played well yesterday. Like that was one of Daniel Jones' better games. So with elite protection, good quarterback play, and you hold the team to 20 points.
You lost.
You lost.
Like, I just want everyone to talk out loud to themselves, because I think that helps me a lot when I actually voice my thoughts. Say that again, Smitty.
So you hold your opponent to 20 points.
That's a win.
You have elite protection, no sacks, no QB hits. And you get in scoring position 5 times, and you lose the game. And
Daniel Jones played his best game of the season. That's what everyone's told me.
Daniel Jones has played his best game. It's one of his better outings.
So the offensive line allowed 0 sacks. Daniel Jones played his best game. The defense allowed 20 points, and you still lost. What does that tell you about this team? I'll let you decide that. PSN LLC, $5 super chat. What up, man? He says, governance function at Giants is questionable at best with every DJ decision. Such bad leadership and horrible governance. Smitty, we got a lot of young kids watching this show. Can you explain them what that word means?
Governance. Just the way this ship is ran. The way this ship is sailed is not working. They basically is saying the Giants front office, they're weak, and they're not willing to move on from Daniel Jones to the quarterback position. And Daniel Jones also has bad leadership and bad way of processing. That's it.
But Smitty, he played his best game. He didn't get sacked because of the offensive line 1 time. He got in scoring territory 5 times, and the Giants lost.
Yep.
So whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Again, you didn't only lose because of Daniel Jones. I will stand on this take and battle anybody. The Giants did not lose the game because solely of Daniel Jones. But the Giants did not win the game because of Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference there. Daniel Jones, his ceiling is good enough to sometimes win football games when everything's perfect.
His ceiling is not to go and win football games. He can win football games.
Exactly. Yep. Mike G, my man, I wish you were hitting dingers last night for this football team. Might have scored some more points. Says, Marsh, love your work, man. You said it best. We as fans deserve better. What do we need to fix more Jones or the secondary? Because Banks looks rough so far.
Banks open.
I would say this, Mike G. The offense needs to improve. In the 3 Giants losses this year, Mike G, the Giants defense has allowed 5 touchdowns. Not 5 touchdowns in each loss. They've allowed 5 touchdowns over 3 losses. Smitty, I'm not good at math, but I think that's less than 2 touchdowns allowed per loss.
Yes, the math is correct.
So that would tell me that the offense is at blame right here. And you know who gets the blame in the NFL when your offense is no good?
Quarterback.
What about the guy that has the second? I kept on saying third highest cap hit. I had to look it up again today, Smitty. It's actually the second highest cap hit in the NFL.
Who's number 1?
Kyler Murray.
Okay. Imagine the Giants had Kyler Murray.
I can't wait for Giants got encouraging news. Mike G, the answer is the offense. The ceiling is here. We've met the ceiling. It can't always be. He needs perfect O-line help. He can never have receivers that drop the ball. He needs the best receiver in the NFL because that's what Malik Nabers has been through 4 weeks. And you need a defense to allow 1.7 touchdowns a game. Did you know in those games they're 0-3?
0-3.
0-3. Did you know the Giants have played 4 games this year? And in half of them, they haven't scored a touchdown. They've played 4 games and 2 times they didn't touch the paint. They didn't touch the paint in 2 games. They've played 4.
It is gross.
Oh, and Daniel Jones has thrown a pick 6.
I think the Panthers have scored a touchdown in more games than the Giants.
Someone tweeted me on Twitter. He's like, dude, you can't say anything. You wanted to trade for Bryce Young. My response, Bryce Young and Daniel Jones threw the same amount of touchdowns last night. Michael Pinto, $10 super chat. What up, Mike? Says, should we have went forward on 4th and goal on the 3? Yes. I think all of the 4th down decisions, they should have went for all of those. Because you're not good enough to back. I'm not going to say the Giants played to lose yesterday, but I think they played not to get blown out and then played to give them a chance to win at the end of the game instead of going and being the aggressor and taking the win. I think they should have went forward on every 4th down that they kicked a field goal. I think they should have went forward on every single one.
It's pretty it's pretty counterintuitive because you don't have any faith in Daniel Jones, yet you play conservative and hopefully have one drive to win the game at the end. That's how much faith you have in Daniel Jones? Like you think he can go down there and win it? You didn't believe he can go down and take a win all game. So why are you? It's terrible.
And why are we expecting Daniel Jones to put a game-winning drive together when he's done it 1, 2, 3, 4 times outside of the 2022 NFL season?
And on that game-winning drive, how many
of them were like him and
how many of them
Saquon?
went past the sticks? How many went past the sticks?
Not enough. Bryce says you're way too tough on DJ. Well, you're way too soft on him. Toughen up. Toughen the fuck up. I'm sick of this shit.
How many times,
How low is the bar, Smitty?
Yeah, how many times do you want to watch 3rd and 9 and watch him throw the ball 2 yards?
Don't we want to win football games? Does anybody know what his record as a starter is?
What do you got?
22-36.
It's bad.
Why do we defend him?
What if you take away the 2020? What was the record in 22 when they made the playoffs?
They were 9-6. So record by year: 3-9, 5-9, 4-7, 1-5, 1-3. But I'm too hard on Daniel Jones. You know what I want to see him do? Who said that? Was that Bryce? And I like Bryce. Bryce, you know what my expectations are? To score 1 touchdown. He hasn't done that twice this year. If my expectations of scoring 1 touchdown are too high, I think you're the one that needs to up their expectations. John Scheffler. What's up, John Scheffler? He says, speak that truth.
It's not. Like,
I don't want to do this.
Are we saying anything outlandish? Like, we're just saying a bunch of statistics that Daniel Jones has. We're just going off the history.
Rebel Montana in the building. What up, Reb? Look, guys. If you bang your head against a wall 500 times and you get the same result, what do you think is going to happen when you do it 100 more times? But you put a little padding on the wall. It's still going to hurt. Like, doesn't matter if you change the coach. Doesn't matter if you change the offensive coordinator. Doesn't matter if you draft the best receiver in the NFL. Doesn't matter if you get an offensive line that allows 0 sacks. Doesn't matter if you get a defense that allows 20 points. As long as 8 is here, we ain't going where we got to go. Rosenberg, Nolasco. That's my guy right there. What up, Rose? Says Marshy, number 1. Anyone who doesn't blame Daboll for not forcing DJ to be explosive is wrong. 2, if he can't make the hits, bench him. 3, Marshall, call me Rose. Deal. Rose. Derek Rose. Rose, what I would say to you is Brian Daboll can't put his hand up the back of Daniel Jones like a ventriloquist and make him do something. Bryce says, sorry, bro, unsubscriber. Everyone say bye-bye to Bryce. Bye-bye, Bryce. Bye. Fucking soft. Brian Daboll can't make Daniel Jones do anything. He can draw the plays up. Like Smitty, he can get a wide open Darius Slayton for a touchdown. Yep. You can't make him make that throw.
Yep.
He could scheme up a wide open corner post to Malik Nabers. You can't make him make that throw. He could scheme up a slant and go on the first 3rd down of the game that has 30 yards of separation. He can't make Daniel Jones make a good throw.
I didn't think Daboll called a bad game last night.
I don't think Daboll called a great game. I also don't think he called a bad game. I told Smitty, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I went back and watched the All-22 this morning. There was a lot of meat left on the bone, and we've got pictures.
We got the receipts.
Marshall, you're too tough on Daniel Jones. I'm asking for 1 touchdown. I'm asking for 1 singular touchdown from the 2nd highest paid player in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
If my expectations are too high, this will never, ever be the channel for you. Ever. Kyler, what's up, homie? His neck, that's preventing him from throwing it.
Then bench him.
Then bench him. Then bench him. Gitu says, you're not tough enough, Marshall. You have a picture of an anime person as your profile picture. Put your face there, and then be a man and stand on what you got to say. Bear315, $5 super chat, says, not defending Jones, but do you think he's injured still and is just hiding it? Why can't we just all admit it?
Was he injured when he went under 500 for the first 5 years of his career? Or first 4 years of his career, whatever it was?
Why can't we all just say what we all need to say, Smitty?
Like,
he's not very good.
not very good.
The ceiling he puts on this team is very low. Sometimes it's high enough to win football games, like when you play the Browns and you get 8 sacks against Deshaun Watson.
He's off the team after the season, so why do you continue to defend him?
And it's not like they're saying anything that like has substance or stats or reason or analysis. It's you're too hard on him. He's hurt. His neck. You expect too much. He was the 6th overall pick. He's in year 6 on a second contract with the second highest cap hit in the NFL.
It's crazy when you say it all like in once.
22 and 36 as a starter. And 1. Don't forget the tie. PSN LLC. What's up, Brody? 100% with Marsh. You are getting just below average at best with DJ. Could get some for $700,000. Honest question. Did DJ throw any TDs this year? He's thrown a touchdown to Nabers, 3 touchdowns to Nabers, and 1 to Wan'Dale Robinson. And he threw 1 to Greg Van Winkle, or whatever his name is.
Andrew Van Ginkle.
Andrew Van
The other way.
Oh, my God. Van Ginkle has more receiving touchdowns than Jalen Hyatt in his career from Daniel Jones.
It's terrible. Daniel Jones just doesn't.
Noodles the Goat says we just like him. Why? Why do you like him? I'm like actually serious.
What has he ever done for you?
I know we like to joke and kid and all that, but like, why do we like Daniel Jones?
Bronx boy, right back at you.
Do I not like anime profile pictures? King Wolf, I have no problem with them, but when you call someone not tough and you can't do it with your face on it, it makes you kind of weak. When you're calling someone out, I think you should be able to show your face and not hide behind a screen and a camera and a picture. Like, what if I did this show and it just never showed my face? I don't know. That's just how I was raised, though. That's how I was raised. Stand on it. Put your face on it. Don't be weird.
You guys want Drew Lock? I'm telling you, Drew Lock's gonna make the season way more fun. I promise. He might throw 8 picks, 10 picks, but I don't care. I think he will light it up. Appreciate you, PSM.
Y'all make me laugh, so I appreciate that, and I needed that today.
Mr. Rick says he'd take Rolly over DJ.
Rolly stinks.
Rolly stinks.
So yeah, you're pretty much getting. Rolly kind of plays like Daniel Jones.
It's a lateral move.
It's a lateral move. Oh, Barry Smith says y'all are going to ruin the next QB. All you do is blame DJ, and when the next QB comes in and has a few bad games, y'all are going to cry and complain more. Barry, I would challenge you to stick around for 30 minutes. So I got a segment cooked up for you that you're going to love, Mr. Barry Smith, that you're going to love. What's up, Pedro? He says, can't afford for DJ to get hurt. Stop being so hard on him.
He's fragile. He's weak-boned.
I love this shit. I needed this. Venting.
It is funny.
Stingy Law Low says, hello, first time in the live. Do you like Daniel Jones? Yes or no? We should give badges to people for which side of the army they're on. Pro DJ or no DJ?
Yep.
Can we do that? Is that a thing? Can I make you guys appear as DJ truthers or not?
Oh my goodness.
PSN says worst QB in NFL is Watson, second is DJ, third is Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is bad too. People are going to find out this weekend. He's no receivers. He's going to crumble.
Tyler says McAdoo wanted to draft Mahomes. He also started Geno Smith, but we fired him after one bad year.
If the Giants scored a people forget if the Giants scored a touchdown yesterday, and if they had a kicker 2 weeks before that, they'd be 3-1.
If Daniel Jones completed one deep pass yesterday, they would have won.
Yeah. Bare minimum. Also, the closest ball that he threw to the end zone, I believe,
was the Jalen Hyatt interception.
No, it was the Tyrone Tracy on the sideline.
Yep, the one that was also wide open for a touchdown that he couldn't get to him. Got called back for a penalty.
Out of bounds.
Lord. Ty Life TV, what's happening, Brody? Preach, Marsh. The Dimes experience is done. What do you think is a better alternative? Draft a rookie or sign a vet while we have young weapons? I'm team draft a quarterback.
It's over for Dimes.
It never started. I'm team draft a quarterback. The free agents this year aren't all that spectacular, and I think that the Giants need to have a cheap quarterback for the next 5 years. Cost-controlled QB on a rookie scale contract for the next 5 years.
That's how teams win Super Bowls, to be honest.
Yep.
Or at least make them.
Look at the Niners.
Eagles.
You stack up your roster when your QB's cheap.
Mahomes, his first time.
You know how good you have to be when your quarterback makes up like 30% of the cap to win football games? You got to be really good. And we're seeing why the Giants aren't winning games right now because of that. Ty Life, thank you, man. I'm going to draft a QB. I can't bring myself to do a mock draft yet on this channel. But I think if we get to 1-4, we might have to.
Over under week 6.
If you fall 3 games below 500 this year, I think we're going to do a mock draft. Michael Pinto, what's up, Brody? Thank you for the love, man. Ward or Ewers to leak will feed families. It's time to bench Danny because of the injury clause or whatever it is. What the hell is this contract?
How did Daniel Jones account for the second most money in the NFL?
How did he get an injury guarantee in his contract after a broken neck? Oh, Lordy.
They're being nice to him.
Thanks, John Mara. Thank you. Ward or look, I like Cam Marino, aka Cam Ward. I like Quinn Ewers. I'm keeping my eye on Carson Beck. I've got eyes on Miller Moss. I've got eyes on Jackson Dart, and I've highlighted what's QB's name from Bama? Jalen Milroe. Those are the guys I'm looking at.
Jalen Milroe, big game this weekend.
We're going to find out a lot about Jalen Milroe this weekend against that Georgia Bulldogs defense.
Go Dogs!
Garcia, what's up, Brody? Saquon's TD count versus the whole. Why'd you do this to me?
What is this count right now? The Giants.
Have 3 receiving from Nabers, 1 from Robinson, and 2
Singletary.
2 for Singletary?
Is it 1 for Singletary?
He scored against.
They scored 3 touchdowns in the.
He scored against Washington.
Yeah.
And he scored against Cleveland.
He did score against Cleveland? Yeah, okay, so he has 2. So 6 versus, I think Saquon has 4 or 5.
So we're still winning. Not good.
Not good at all.
The Giants averaged more points last year with Tommy DeVito playing games than they are this year.
Tommy DeVito beat the Packers.
Think about it like this, guys. You signed 3 new offensive linemen. You drafted the best wide receiver in the National Football League thus far. And your offense is worse than last year. And you had a guy that was undrafted playing half the season. Greg Congdon in the building. What's up, Greg Congdon?
GC, what up, baby?
A legend is Greg Congdon. Greg Congdon, I need you to send me a direct message on social media, Mr. Greg C. If you are on Twitter, send me a DM at @MarshallGreen_Greg. If you're on Instagram, send me a DM at @MarshallGreen_. I got to send you something for what you did last night and the love that you showed. I gotta give you a Chat Sports swag bag. You weren't the MVP, but man, you did a lot. You supported like crazy, and I gotta take care of you. I gotta take care of you.
He wasn't the MVP?
No, Bill ended up sending that 3 hundo.
Yeah, Bill.
And Bill sending it. Bill was cooking. Bill was the MVP last night. Unbelievable. All righty, 353 people watching. If you want the Giants to turn it around, hit that thumbs up icon. Once we get to 169 likes for no other reason, Doug says, Marshall, you're too rough on Jones. I'm going to lower my expectations. I'm going to be happy from here on out if Daniel Jones does not score touchdowns. Is that what y'all want? Doug, seriously, is that what you want? The expectation for him not to be able to score touchdowns? Because my expectation right now is to just score 1 touchdown. And he's fallen short of that 2 times this year. We've only played 4 football games. Should I lower my expectations from 1 touchdown to 0 touchdowns? Why for yes and for no? Miss Cha is demanding a Chat Sports swag bag. Deal. Deal. Deal, deal, deal. For her birthday. 3 weeks late. I will get that. I think I have your address, Mr. Rick. Just send it. Bump it in the text thread just so I have it at my fingertips. All right, Smitty. So from here on out, we're not going to expect anything from Daniel Jones, not even touchdowns.
0 touchdowns.
And it's always going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Every week when we do our winners and losers, Daniel Jones will be the winner. Is that what we want?
So what happens when, like last night when your run game averages 1.1 yards per carry? What happens then? How do you win the game? How are you supposed to do it?
Well, he can't win a game with a bad run game.
Why?
Because
everything has to be perfect.
It's got to be perfect. We have to have a defense that allows no points, receivers that don't drop balls, offensive linemen that don't drop sacks, and you need to have the running game like you got Bradshaw, Jacobs, and Ward behind you, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've come up with a resolution, though, Smitty.
Yeah, what's that?
How about Daniel Jones just gives all the money back to the Giants and plays on the minimum contract, and then we lower our expectations?
That'd be fine.
And then we go out and add really good football players to this team.
That'd be very nice. But
how about instead of asking me to lower my expectations, how about you ask Daniel Jones to give some of his money back? That seems more fair.
Oh, my God.
Because my expectation is 1 touchdown.
1.
Not even a throwing. I just want the offense to score a touchdown. Like, I'm cool with a rushing touchdown from Singletary. Yeah, let's get more money, Bronx boy. How about every super chat that comes in from the rest of the season, we give it to Daniel Jones?
Yes.
Do y'all want to do that? Greg, I will check that out after the show. Thank you so much, my friend. I just got it. Let me, Can I get everyone to type HBD in the chat? Can I get everyone watching, all 340 people watching right now, to give me an HBD in the chat? My good friend Crystal, a diehard Giants fan, is watching today's show. It's her birthday, and I want her to feel some birthday love.
Let's go, Crystal.
Everyone show Crystal some love. Give me some HBDs in the chat. Crystal, I love you. I miss you. Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys.
Happy birthday, Crystal.
Ramal, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Crystal, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Always singing to everybody else. Crystal, I love you. I miss you. Maybe I'll get out to a flag tourney one day and play football if my shoulder's not completely torn. All righty. Brandon Cruz says, I love you, Crystal. Everyone loves Crystal. You know what Crystal does? Sets high expectations for Daniel Jones because Crystal is a winner. Crystal is a flag football gold medalist. She might be one of the best defenders on this Giants football team. 350 people watching. Hit that thumbs up icon and let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. Bill's in the building. What up, Bill? Oh, man. I don't know if I'm ready to do this.
This is going to be quite the show. A lot of opinions. But
I think they're facts.
But backed up by a lot of facts, statistical evidence, and advanced analytics. Because we love to run those numbers here on the Giants Now.
Oh, my God. Greg. Greg Dean, let's go. Accepted. All right, like the video, 400 people, 350. I lied. All right, let's lock it in. The New York Giants' loss on Thursday Night Football to the Dallas Cowboys was the story of Daniel Jones's career. Everything I have ever thought about Daniel Jones was on full display against the Dallas Cowboys. Good enough to put you in position to win a football game, but not good enough to go out and win a football game. So I got to ask the question, as the Giants are now 1-3 on the season. Who do you want to see under center when the Giants play the Seattle Seahawks next week? Is it Daniel Jones? Or is it put that ish on Drew Lock? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. If you love the Giants, hit that thumbs up icon. Because I know this, no matter what the record is, I'm always going to bleed New York Giants blue. I want to set the record straight here to start today's show. Daniel Jones was not the reason the New York Giants lost 20-15 to the Dallas Cowboys. Daniel Jones actually played good enough to keep it close. Daniel Jones did enough on Thursday night to make it a one-score game throughout the entire process. He was 29 of 40. He completed 281 yards passing. Unfortunately, couldn't get it in the end zone as he had the ball 5 times within scoring distance. He did throw an interception at the end of the game I'm not worried about. But I do think Daniel Jones may not have a job after this week. Daniel Jones did a good-ish job of taking what was given. They told Daniel Jones to throw it underneath a lot. He did that. Daniel Jones is not the reason the Giants lost that football game. Daniel Jones is the reason, though, why the Giants did not win that football game. Because that type of game last night, where it's a one-score game, where you're one play away, where you're one moment away from claiming that lead, you need the quarterback that has the second highest cap hit in the NFL to go exert his will on his opponent. Go make that play. Throw a haymaker. Do something. Get in the end zone. He played just good enough to keep you close, but he didn't play good enough to win you a football game. And how many times have we said that? He'll get you right there, just close enough. Then when you're a mile away from the destination, the car always runs out of gas. Look, I don't claim to be a film junkie, but I do think I have at least a decent football IQ. And I'm smart enough to know that Malik Nabers is wide open right here. He is wide open. That is wide open in the National Football League. If that ball is out on time, on target, and you lead Malik Nabers, he doesn't have to break stride. He's going to hit the sideline, get north and south, pick up that first down, and threaten to score. So what did Daniel Jones do instead of throw the ball right here? He threw the ball behind him. Malik Nabers had to turn around to catch the football. And there's the defender. That goes down as a completion. But when you're throwing the ball 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, the accuracy has to be perfect. You need to put the ball in a spot to maximize yards after the catch. Yes, a completion, but the Giants did not pick this first down up because of Daniel Jones. What about when the Giants had a free play later on in the game? Who's this little guy right here? Oh, Darius Slayton. Wide open. This is wide open in the National Football League. Trayvon Diggs is cooked. This safety right here, he's guarding this guy. There's Daniel Jones ready to throw the football. And he underthrew him by 15 yards, and then it became a turnover and an interception by Trayvon Diggs that was wiped off because of a pre-snap movement by the defense. You had a free play. You had a touchdown gift wrap to you. But Daniel Jones couldn't make the defense pay. Daniel Jones couldn't capitalize on a walk-in touchdown. He's wide open. Make the frickin' throw, man. What about later on in the game, where we have a wide open Malik Nabers? Wide open right here. This safety right here, he is not in the play. Trayvon Diggs is cooked yet again. Nabers is open at the 45-yard line of Dallas. He is then double covered and mugged at the 35-yard line because Daniel Jones has a noodle arm. He does not have an NFL arm. Underthrown, late, deep ball. We've already shown you 3 times he should have had a touchdown. What about on the first drive of the game? 3rd down. Malik Nabers runs a slant and go. He made this defender touch earth. This is wide open in the National Football League. There is nobody within 20 yards of him. You want to tell me that safety at the top's in the play? Not a chance. So what does Daniel Jones do? He threw the ball to the heavens, and Malik Nabers looks like Willie Mays playing center field at the warning track trying to track down a pop fly. If that ball is thrown on time, on target, with velocity, with zip, Nabers catches, and he's running like Forrest Gump, and it's touchdown, New York Football Giants. That is not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times in a single game. Daniel Jones left points on the board. He never landed the knockout punch. He never landed the knockout blow. He got you just close enough to be able to take the lead for the defense to get a big stop. How many times during the watch party last night did we say, it's now or never, Daniel Jones. You got to go do it. Your defense got timely stop after timely stop after timely stop after timely stop. They held the Dallas Cowboys to 6 points in the second half. You got the ball 4 times in the second half with an opportunity to go punch it in and take the lead. You didn't do it 1 time. This is Daniel Jones' spray chart from the ball game. Again, I think Daniel Jones played a decent game. 29 of 40, 281 yards, 7.7 yards, 7.7% completion percentage over expected. But he completed 19 balls, 5 yards or less from the line of scrimmage. He was 1 for 6 on passes that traveled more than 20 yards down the field. At some point, you got to be able to hit a deep shot. At some point, you got to be able to make it happen. Daniel Jones has the 2nd highest cap hit in the National Football League, meaning only 1 player in the NFL is taking up more of their team's salary cap than him. He needs to move the needle. He needs to change the game. And for one time in your life, Daniel Jones, overcome some adversity. But Marshall! The drops. The drops. How is Daniel Jones supposed to win a football game because of the drops? There were so many, right? There were 3 drops. There were 3 drops. And look, yes, the Giants did have 3 drops. That is not good. Not good. Nabers, catch the football. Darius Slayton, catch the football. And Wan'Dale Robinson, please catch the football. But I put a poll on our live show, and I asked, who is more to blame? Daniel Jones, Daboll, the defense, or drops? And 30% of the viewers voted drops. For the 30% of people that click drops, you are making my point. For Daniel Jones to consistently win football games, the Giants' offense has to be executed perfectly, to a T. No mistakes, no negative plays, no hurdles to overcome. None of them. Everything has to be perfect. Because you know what? Your offensive line allowed 0 sacks yesterday. Your defense allowed 20 points. And you didn't score a touchdown. And you still did not win. The room and margin for error is so small. Look at that top one. The room for error and margin for error is so small. If you mess up just once, Daniel Jones can't overcome it. Everything has to be perfect for him to win a football game. Here are some advanced analytics from the game. Daniel Jones had an average depth of target of 9.7 yards, a season high. That means how far down the field did you throw the ball every single time? On average, 9.7. But his average depth of completion was 5.5 yards. He had 1 big-time throw. He had 2 turnover-worthy plays. When you have more turnover-worthy plays than big-time throws, that's not good. It's like assists and turnovers in basketball. He also had 3.09 seconds to throw on average, the highest of the season. So you had the most time to throw, You did not get sacks because of the offensive line, and you were 1 for 6 on throws that traveled 20-plus yards in the air. Is Daniel Jones the only one to blame? No. And again, you didn't lose because of Daniel Jones, but you did not win because of Daniel Jones. The Giants have ended 2 games this season with 0 offensive touchdowns. We're in week 4. The Giants are averaging 15 points per game this year. The Tommy Cutlets DeVito New York Giants averaged more points than this. In the 3 losses the Giants defense this year, they've allowed 5 total touchdowns. Not 5 touchdowns in all 3 losses, not 15 touchdowns across 3 games. The Giants defense has allowed 5 touchdowns in 3 losses. They are allowing less than 2 touchdowns allowed per game. And the Giants are 0-3 in those ball games. The Giants should be 3-1. The Giants should be 3-1. You should have beat Washington. You should have beat Dallas. Daniel Jones is good enough to win games. He showed us that. He is good enough to win games. Daniel Jones is not good enough to have sustained success. And I hope I'm not saying anything new to anybody. It is year 6. We're a fourth of the way through year 6. Sometimes in life, you just are who you are. And Daniel Jones is a below-average quarterback. One that can win football games, but he's never done it consistently in his life. Daniel Jones in 2024, on average, is throwing the ball downfield 7.8 yards per throw. He's completing just 63% of his passes. And he has an on-target percentage of 57%. That means 43% of his throws this year have not been accurate throws. And he's only throwing the ball 7.8 yards down the field. 43% of the throws that travel 7 yards have been inaccurate this season. We'll end it with this. The ceiling for this offense is so low with Daniel Jones. Everything is so hard. He leaves so many points on the field. And I am tired of watching him play football because nothing is going to change. We've changed head coaches. We've changed offensive coordinators. We drafted the best wide receiver in the NFL. We've got an offensive line that didn't allow a sack yesterday. We found a defense that allows less than 20 points per game. And he still can't win a football game. If everything has to be perfect, it ain't ever going to be perfect. What's your confidence level in Daniel Jones? What is your confidence level in Daniel Jones as the quarterback for the New York Football Giants? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you got no confidence. 10, you still think he's going to bring us number 5. Make sure you all follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.
That brother stinks.
My expectations were low coming into the year.
Holy
for
shit.
him. 43% of his throws this year, ladies and gentlemen, have been inaccurate. This ain't bombs away. This is dink and dunk.
It'd be different if his completion percentage looked like the way it does, and he threw the ball like Jameis Winston. Or Drew Lock, for that matter. If Drew Lock puts up the same completion percentage numbers as Daniel Jones, the Giants would be a better football team.
I don't know if Nope's just like trying to be funny, but like, does it not make sense? He didn't lose you the game, but he's the reason you didn't win. Like, I think that makes 100% sense, but I don't know. Maybe I just live in La La Land. Bill, I wish I could turn that off. I wish I could turn that off, Bill. Patrick Clark says maybe we've been secretly tanking. Patrick, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself if you just admit it. The first step is admitting it. And it feels so good. Like, let's all do it in the chat. The Giants are not tanking. Daniel Jones is not hurt. It is not Brian Daboll's fault. We have a quarterback that handicaps this offense. Just admit it. It feels really good. You don't have to lie to yourself. You don't got to put on a freaking clown face every Sunday, Thursday, and Monday saying this is the week. It feels good to accept the truth. I don't know, man. I don't know. Doug says no running game. Yep, Doug. Also no passing game. 0 touchdowns. All good. What's up, man? Oh, good.
Oh, good.
5 times in the red zone. That's 5 TDs we could have had. That score should have been 35-20. Wasn't 5 times in the red zone, but it was 5 times in Cowboys territory.
Yep.
Yeah, no, last night was tough. Dylan, why?
Where is he at?
Not Urban Plate, Bill. Not Urban Plate. Dylan, what I would ask you, though, is, did you watch the All-22 film? Because you're not going to be able to digest, and I feel like a loser even saying that. But, like, I feel like it's not fair to criticize the game plan if you didn't go back and watch the tape from the coach's angles. And also, Smitty, why do you think he has to call a conservative game plan?
Because Daniel Jones can't play an aggressive game plan. He can't play a high-powered, high-octane, throw the ball down the field offense. Because he doesn't do it.
That's like putting a NASCAR driver in a minivan and asking him why they're driving slow.
Daniel Jones doesn't throw the ball downfield for 2 reasons. 1, because he doesn't like to, and 2, because he's inaccurate when he does. Giants offense cannot be electric when those 2 things exist.
Reese says, why is he playing him? Because he is the 2nd highest paid player in the NFL. And John Mara loves him. He loves him. Hamza Network, what's up, man? $5 super chat. Thank you for the love. Says they need to give Tommy DeVito a chance. He had 8 TDs and only 3 interceptions last year with bad O-line and no wide receiver. Think of what he can do with the weapons we have. I would rather Drew Lock get the chance. But, yeah, I'd rather Drew Lock get the chance. I think he's a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. But I'm not going to be upset with anybody saying they want to see DeVito play football anymore. You are more than allowed to feel that way after what we've seen so far this year. PSN LLC. DeVito was able to pull off a game-winning drive. BM Edits. Yo, Marsh, you were 100% correct. We need a new quarterback. I'm tired of going to work being embarrassed. Yeah, me too. Me too. Isaiah says, Marsh, you type bugging. What does that mean? Type bugging?
Why are we bugging?
What are we bugging about, Mr. Isaiah Franz?
Bill.
Bill! Says, give me Tommy. 22 million reasons why. You're right. Oh.
Call up the Italian. Let's go. It's from North Jersey. Don Bosco. I go Iron Man.
You went to high school with him, right?
No. We were tight.
Like, what sucks is Daniel Jones, like, can put you in some games. He put you in that Cowboys game. He put you in that Commanders game. He beat the Browns. But 1-3 isn't good enough. It ain't good enough.
Did Daniel Jones go and beat the Browns? I don't think he did.
No, I just said it.
Okay.
I'm trying to be fair to the apologists. As 30% of our viewers think that the Giants lost because of 3 drops. 3 drops, guys. The Giants lost because of 3 drops. How many points did they score in the first half before the drops? For every drop there were more missed touchdown throws by Daniel Jones. He missed 4.
Not enough.
He can't win them, Greg. He can't win them.
There are reasons to be optimistic, though.
There are reasons to be optimistic. Yep, he could put us in them, but he can't win them. He'll get you just excited enough to give you some blue balls. Blue balls, Danny. That's my new nickname for him. Blue Ball Jones.
Dan the Doodoo Man.
Blue Ball Danny. Cover your ears, nope. Blue Ball Danny. Isaiah Franz. What's up, man? BBJ, Patrick Clark. BBJ. Blue Balls Jones. He says, I've heard worse. I can only imagine what they say in school these days, 13-year-olds. Sam Owen says, I misclicked on drop passes instead of DJ. I needed this laugh today. I needed this. Beats by nobody. What's up with Tay Banks? Yeah, nah, he may not be very good either.
Banks are open, brother.
Banks, they don't even close on national holidays.
Yeah.
Anthony Jones says, Panthers made a QB change. Why can't we?
Because Bryce Young doesn't get paid $40 million.
Because Daniel Jones. Is he blackmailing John Mara?
There's some dirt on the man.
Like, it's not even like Yesterday's performance was not bench worthy.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. But it was my breaking point of realizing he will never, ever win football games for you consistently.
Because he's shown you everything at this point. He's shown you...
Yesterday was the Daniel Jones experiment through and through.
It was good. It was solid. He was fine. Wasn't great. Didn't go out and win the game. Rob Simpy.
Rob Simpy. What's up, Mr. Simpy? He says, is it too early? Don't put that evil on me, Rob Simpy.
We can't do that.
I don't want to do karaoke at halftime this year. Ox says, job finished?
You can't go 14-3 if you don't lose 3. Bam, bam.
Bam, bam, the doo-doo man. What's up? The real question on that poll should be RBs. So the running backs are why the Giants lost yesterday.
Yes.
Why can't we just... I want to form a union where we all agree it's Daniel Jones' fault.
It is Daniel Jones' fault. We want to at least know where people stand. I want to convince people that it is Daniel Jones' fault because it is.
Like, how cool would it be if, like, we were known as the mobsters? It's Daniel Jones' fault.
Max, what up?
Max Sus, man. What's up?
Dude.
Tank 2 seasons, Horde 2020.
We can't wait for Arch. It's too long.
I can't wait for Arch Manning.
2 more years of this? That's what you want to see?
If you want to blame the running backs, you should blame the lack of run blocking. It wasn't the running back's fault. It's the fact that your offensive line couldn't get a push. It's also the fact that the Cowboys didn't fear your deep passing game, so they could sell out on the run every play.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if you make them respect the deep pass, they can't sell out on the run, which would then open up the run.
And you could do multiple things.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. I need a quarterback in 2025, Max. I do. You got to get one. You can't do it. I can't watch this guy play football anymore. I can't. Randall Owens, trade Slayton. What could we get? Your opinion? 5th or 6th round pick. Better than nothing. Start playing Hyatt. Start developing him. Slayton's no good. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Get the stank of 86-8 off this team. You already got this losing nature of 26 off this team. Get the other stank losers off as well and move on. You need a new identity. It'll never be a winning one with 8-86. Course is when is ownership to blame? Yes. Always. It's always John Mara's fault. It is, though.
He's complacent. He's fine. He got his Super Bowls. He's good.
Royal Martin, would you rather DJ win these close games and keep his job or keep things interesting? He loses his job at the end of the year. We get a high draft pick. What do you think, Smitty?
Man, I don't know. I'd probably rather the Giants win games, but can we go back and reverse the ones that we should have won already? Like, can the Giants be 3-1? Yeah, I'd probably go with that. But I want Daniel Jones to not be the starting quarterback of the New York Giants for any more snaps, possessions, games in the history of this football team. So I want him out. That's my answer.
At this point, I think Smitty.
You're 1-3.
You're 1-3.
Do you trust Daniel Jones to go? What is this? 7-5 the rest of the way? No, 8-5 the rest of the way. To maybe have a chance at the playoffs. 8-5 the rest of the way. Do you trust Daniel Jones to do that?
Still got to play the Eagles twice. Still got to play the Seahawks.
Yep. There's probably another tough game in there.
There's a lot of tough games left. Still got to play the Ravens.
Oh my God.
Still got to play the Steelers.
Oh my God. What are your guys' real expectations now that the team has lost 3 winnable games?
Blind Tovin Productions says, if y'all ever eat with Daniel Jones, don't ask him to pass the rolls. At least they'll be underthrown, and you can still go get them. Max Sussman, what's up, man? Been bad for 14 years. I can't hang to. No. I get that, but that would also have to mean, Max, that we're the worst team in the NFL next year because Arch is going number 1 overall.
Yep.
I can't take another season of doing this. We might need a new host. It might have to be Smitty.
Oh, no. I gotta watch the worst team in the NFL next year. I wouldn't wish
that on anyone.
No.
Blind Tovin Production. It's my guy right there. Marsh, I've been a part of the Giants Now family for 3 or 4 years now, and I've always been an advocate for DJ. It's time for us to swallow our pride and say he's not the guy. Give me cutlets!
Bring me the Italian!
Blind Tovin Productions, I love you, man. You always are here. You're always supporting the show. I appreciate your positive energy always. I want Drew Lock.
Bring me the Lockett ship.
Rob Simpy, I appreciate that.
I'm just going through a couple of these to see what ones we can use in the mailbag later.
Cool. CTM says, on a positive note, 56,000 subscribers. No, that is awesome. I know we're having fun today, and we're venting, and it's therapy, more so for me than you guys, because I need this. 56,000 subscribers. This channel is at 56,000 subscribers.
Appreciate y'all.
That is insane. It is crazy to think that 56,000 people have clicked this channel to watch the Peak talk some Giants football. I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. And for some reason, I got a lot of good people in my corner on this channel. I'm very, very lucky. I'm very lucky. I love you guys. Keith Gruber says, Marsh, I played semi-pro football, quarterback and receiver. You drop catches like they did last night. You were called stone hands. What were you called if the quarterback was 1 for 6 on throws of over 20-plus yards? What would they call you? What'd they call you, Keith?
I call you a bum.
Thunder, thunder. That's my guy.
Thunder, what up, baby? Mr. Rick.
Mr. Rick with a new profile picture. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
That's tough.
He says, every like I get to this comment, I'll donate $1 to the channel, up to 100. Like if you agree, Daniel Jones must be benched. How many people have liked it? Let's see.
Only 2, but I'm throwing it.
I see 7. Now
7?
10. Did you already like it?
I was gonna put the heart on there.
I need everybody to scroll up to Cha's Super Chat.
It's got 11 now.
And if you want Daniel Jones to be benched, like that comment. We're up to 17. Here, I'm going to do this.
I see 23.
Can you pin a Super Chat? I don't think so.
No.
Up to 35.
36.
Scroll up, and if you want Daniel Jones benched, like Mr. Rick's Super Chat.
That's electric.
You know what's funny? More people have voted that the Giants lost the game because of drops than liking that Super Chat. They dropped 3 passes!
Unbelievable. 42 likes on that Super Chat right now. 45.
3 passes, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a quarterback that's the second highest paid player in the NFL and he can't overcome 3 drops, he needs to be dropped off the roster. Bill says I already hit all the buttons. Unbelievable. Mr. Rick. I texted Mr. Rick last night, I think at like 3 a.m. when I was in my bad. And I was DMing Bill on Twitter, and I was messaging Mr. Rick via text at midnight saying, I hate Daniel Jones. He's ruining my life. This was me in my bed at 3 a.m. hate tweeting Daniel Jones. Unknown says 15% of your chat agrees with you. Well, Unknown, I know your name's upside down, so you may have a hard time looking at things, but actually 41% of the chat votes that Daniel Jones is to blame for the loss. Not 15%. But if you turn 15% upside down and then you do some math, it kind of looks like 41.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, right? Carry the 2, divide by 3 to the 14th power.
Rob Jigga.
Rob, where you been, my man? What's up? Thank you for being here. Says, Belichick and Beck 2025. If the draft was tonight, Giants hold 4th overall. I need some positives from last night. Sorry, got here late. Just wait for this next segment. Giants got some encouraging news. Giants got some encouraging news. I'm not ready to say who I want as head coach, and I'm not so sure that it's not Brian Daboll. And I don't know who I want at quarterback yet. Too early for me to give any strong stuff. More New York Giants, please, says signing into my other accounts to vote drops to mess with Marshall. You got me.
Ridiculous.
I love y'all that y'all love me. VM Edits, what's up, homie?
This is
That's old?
Yep. Hold on. Just did the glitch.
Mr. Rick's
There we go.
Super Chat, what's that up to?
It's up to 51.
51 likes!
Here's BM Edits.
BM Edits! Thank you for the $5 Super Chat, my man. Sometimes I look back and think, where did we... Yeah.
How many days ago was it? 2000?
What was that, 2018?
2019? Or
I think it was 2019 because we
Yeah.
picked Barkley in 2018.
Yep. Oh, it's been about 2,000 days of Daniel Jones.
1,982.
Yeah.
1,982 days.
So a little less than 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, we're celebrating the 2,000 days of Daniel Jones.
I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Is it the worst starting quarterback that's held this job over that span? It's not even it's not even close.
He's been the starter for 5.5 years.
So let's call it since the last 10 years, last decade, since 2014. How many quarterbacks who have started for 5 years consecutively have been worse than Daniel Jones? To be fair, Daniel Jones does have a playoff win, which not a lot of guys have on their resume, like Mitch Trubisky. But I don't think Mitch Trubisky got 5 years. I don't think he got close.
Ramdre says, be honest, Marsh, you secretly have a portrait of DJ tattooed on your butt cheek, don't you? Right cheek. Right cheek. Right cheek. Michael P., what's up, man? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Is it crazy to think that we are a QB and a playmaker cornerback away from being a playoff team? I feel like we are a better team than the Texans were before they hit on Stroud and found a head coach in D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, to be fair, the Texans also in that same draft, like people forget, drafted Willie Anderson, one of the league's elite young edge rushers, a pick right behind C.J. Stroud. They went all in, and they hit. So the Giants need to add one more playmaker on either side of the football and hit on the quarterback, and we could really be competing here in the NFC. There's a reason for optimism.
Encouraging news.
Encouraging. Overwhelming success.
Rob, what are you asking, brother? I think I got an answer for you. We gave away 2 jerseys last night. Mr. Bill Hartnett, he won a Malik Nabers jersey. He also won a commemorative 100th year coin from Mr. Rick. And he won the first ever Chat Sports hat. And then it's Upside to Life, right? He was the guy who won the other one.
Upside to Life.
Upside to Life won a Malik Nabers LSU jersey. So Upside to Life won the LSU jersey. And then Mr. Bill Hartnett sent in the season's largest super chat of $300. $300.
$3 billion.
And he's going home with a swag bag. Michael, look, I don't think it's crazy because we're about to talk about why I believe the New York Giants are closer than we all actually think. They're just not where they need to be at the most important position in sports. As Mr. Rick coming in with a 3-point goal. Cha! Bang! Bang!
Let's go, Mr. Rick!
Shout out to Mr. Rick. I need all 300 people watching to type cha in the chat. Cha in the chat. Cha in the chat. Mr. Rick, you're a legend, my man. You are a legend. Thank you for letting me vent to you. I feel as if we are very similar when it comes to being New York Giants fans, and I think that is why we get along so well. You and Mrs. Cha, 2 of the nicest people I ever met. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love y'all so very much. Because it got up to 50, so I'll double it. Not a DJ hater, more a Giants lover. And why can't people just understand that, Mr. Rick? I love the New York Football Giants. I love winning football games. Daniel Jones is 22-36 as a starter. I want to win more games. We have fired head coaches. We have fired offensive coordinators. We have changed running backs. We have changed offensive lines. We have changed receivers. We have changed defensive coordinators. We've changed special teams coordinators. And the results are the same, and so is the quarterback. Wanting better for your football team and wanting a better quarterback doesn't mean you hate Daniel Jones. Just means you love the New York Football Giants and you care. You care about an organization that was once proud, that was once the standard. We're now the doormat.
We're laughed at.
The Cowboys beat us last night, and you know what they're saying on national TV? Doesn't matter. Giants suck. Doesn't matter. Giants are a joke.
Mr. Rick, shout out to you, my man.
Mr. Rick, you're a legend. You are a legend. EJ Gonzalez says, rah-rah fans don't understand stouts outside the score on the field, Marsh. You're 100% right. And one thing that I always try to think of is process over results. Because results will vary. The process is always going to be similar. And right now, the process, it ain't delivering results. Blind Tovin Productions says, I need to change my handle back to Matt Tovin Basemore. Don't want people to know I'm like DJ and can't see. You are hilarious. You are hilarious. You cracked me up. Thank you. I'll just call you Matt because I know who you are. Matt, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What's up, Asia? What's up, Asia? Chill out, nope. What type of sup was that? Was it like a, what's up, Asia? Or was that a, sup, Asia? Bronx Boy says, you don't need stats to see Jones is bad. You only need eyeballs. You are an... Why did I read that out loud? Shadow Remy says, ask everyone that's not a Giant fan. They all say the same thing. Giants suck in their quarter. That's my thing. Shadow. One of my favorite comments of today's show. Do you know who believes in Daniel Jones? Half of the Giants fan base and no other fan base in the NFL. So why do we think he's good? But whatever. We don't need to talk about how bad he is anymore. I think we all... I'm like Ron Burgundy, Bronx boy. Sometimes I just read the chat out loud, and I shouldn't do that. Thunder says, Dallas took the deep ball away by doubling over to Hyatt's side whenever he entered the field, left leak one-on-one with Diggs. I wouldn't say Dallas took away the deep ball. I'd say there wasn't any completions because of Daniel Jones. He was 1 of 6 on those throws. We've shown you 4 of them. They were walk-in touchdowns if they were good throws. Ronnie says, that loud, and I shouldn't do. How are you all blaming? I don't even know what that means, Ronnie. Tell it not because the receivers can't go make a play. Okay. Now the receivers need to be better. So the offensive line needed to be better. Now they don't allow any sacks. He still loses. You drafted the best wide receiver in the draft. He still loses. The defense now gives up less than 20 points a game. He still loses. So I think I've cracked the Da Vinci Code on how Daniel Jones could be a franchise quarterback. I just need everyone to promise that they keep the secret in this chat. Does everybody swear? Because I have figured out how to make Daniel Jones a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Can everyone in the chat promise me they won't tell anybody about this? And I'll share the secret of how Daniel Jones could be a Super Bowl QB. It's a secret. Shh. You can't tell anybody. You can't tell anybody. All right. You need an offensive line that never gives up sacks. You need the best running back in the NFL. You need the best receivers in the NFL that never drop passes. You need an elite tight end. And you need a defense that never gives up points. So if the defense never gives up points, Daniel Jones never gets sacked, you have the best running back, and you never drop passes, then, and you need the best kicker and punter of all time. Then Daniel Jones will win a Super Bowl. And then Daniel Jones will win a Super Bowl. He needs the best O-line, best receivers, best defense, best kicker, best punter, Fat Brian Daboll, and then he'll win a Super Bowl. Wake up and smell the coffee. Kofi. It's a joke, Smitty.
Smell that goddamn coffee. Daniel Jones stinks.
And if you can find a way for your opponent to have Deshaun Watson at quarterback every week, then you're really winning the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Pickle, nickel, tickle says, I do miss some fatty McDaboll.
That's ridiculous.
Asia, Yankees are doing it again.
Yep, we're back.
Yankees are so winning it all.
Division's ours. Don't have to worry about the bum wild card.
Just get the best defense, the best O-line, the best running back, the best receivers, the best coaches, the best kickers, the best defense, and the best punter, and pay Daniel Jones the second most amount of money in the NFL this year. Then you will have a good football team. Yeah, and that only might work, Greg. That only might work. Michael P. Not even the Monstars can save Danny. The Monstars don't even want to work with Danny. They don't want to suck the talent out of him. He has no talent. There's no talent for them to steal. King Cal in the building says the Giants need to make some changes. Brandon Cruz says, I like fat, angry Daboll. Do you like fat Daboll or skinny Daboll?
Skinny Daboll. Listen, I don't like the success of Skinny Daboll because there's been so few, but let me get a coach in shape. I don't want more reasons to be laughed at.
What's up, Ian? Devin Singletary looks naked without gloves. Oh, hold on to the football, Devin. We'll just super chat him. No, we'll just only do super chats for that. We're going to do a mailbag coming up in a little bit. A lot of super chats have come in. To guarantee your spot on the mailbag, you got a super chat to get on today's show. We got over like 50 super chats that have come in. You guys are great. Smitty, he's going to only put the super chats only on the screen today. We'll do the mailbag in 20 minutes. Let's get this rolling. All righty. I think there is some things to be positive about, all right? I think the Giants got some encouraging news, okay? I don't have a plan. I have a concept of a plan. Oh, Asia says, Smitty, good luck against the 49ers. What does that mean?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm all in on G-Men, baby. Big Blue. Go Blue.
Shut your mouth. You know who I'm talking about. You're like my child. You're like my child. All righty, let's do it. The New York Giants may be 1-3 on the season, but following the loss to the Dallas Cowboys, after I decompressed and I took the emotion out of it and I went back and watched the tape, I believe the Giants got some encouraging news from that ball game. I think the Giants learned some things about themselves that are going to help them get back one day to being at the top of the NFC East. But if you love the New York Giants, If you still bleed New York Giants blue, like this video, because it's easy to be a fan when you're 3-1. But the real ones, they show up and show out when you're 1-3. So if you love them, you're still riding, you're still dying, because we're dying a lot, hit that thumbs up icon. I believe after watching Thursday Night Football's loss for the Giants against the Cowboys again, that Big Blue has closed the gap versus the Dallas Cowboys. I believe the Giants put up a really good fight last night. And I don't believe necessarily in moral victories. But I don't always want to come up on the show and be negative. It's not good for me. It's not fun. And I'm supposed to enjoy this. This is a dream job for me. And I don't want to always come up here and just be negative. So today I'm going to try to be positive. And I believe there were a lot of positives to take out of that game. First and foremost, you're a better football team than what you were last year in some areas. The Giants were outscored 89-17 versus the Dallas Cowboys last year. You lost 40-0, and then you lost 49-17. The Cowboys whipped your butts last year. Wasn't even a competition. Wasn't even close. And last night, or Thursday night, you pushed them to the wire. You had the ball multiple times in that second half with an opportunity to go and win a football game. The Giants should have beat the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. The Giants should be 3-1. The kicker debacle and not being able to complete a pass over 20-plus yards is why you lost the football game. They should be 3-1. And maybe the Dallas Cowboys aren't any good, but they're good enough to beat you. And they're good enough to beat the Browns. They're good enough to beat 2-2. And you didn't lose 89-17 this time. You didn't lose 40-0. You didn't lose 49-17. You at least played with some New York Giants pride, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I was proud of the way the Giants defense played yesterday. They played with some pride after giving up 45.5 points per game last year against the Cowboys. You held them to just 293 yards of total offense. Dak Prescott had to dink and dunk his way up the football field. Your run defense played strong. They stood tall. 3.5 yards per carry. And he got off the field. They only had the ball for 24 minutes of a 60-minute ball game. Unfortunately, your offense wasn't able to get things going. 303 yards, 277 yards on 29 completions. This is an effing joke. This makes me want to vomit. This makes me want to strangle somebody. 1.1 yards per carry. The Dallas Cowboys were the worst team in the NFL on stopping the run. Turnover. Doesn't really matter at the end of the game. And time of possession. But I do believe that the Giants showed some movement. The Giants showed some improvement. For the first time in a long time, I felt something from this team in the fourth quarter. I felt like they had a chance. They gave me a reason to believe. And I believe this wholeheartedly. The New York Giants are a good quarterback away from not just competing, but winning football games like the one on Thursday night. The Giants are good enough to have a foundation to draft a rookie quarterback and have him be successful early on. They are a good quarterback away from not being a laughingstock, from not being the doormat of the NFC East, from competing and winning football games consistently. The offensive line is much improved. The offensive line versus Dallas last night, 0 sacks, 0 QB hits, and just 11 pressures. Daniel Jones, on average, had 3.09 seconds to throw the football last night. A season high for Big Blue. I know that Jones was sacked a couple times. Some of those were charged to him. No sacks charged to the O-line. No pressures, no QB hits charged to the O-line. And over 3 seconds to throw the football. Major shout out to the O-line. Andrew Thomas, we know he's a solid player. John Runyon is a good pass protector. John Michael Schmitz is improving in year 2. Greg Van Roten has been solid. And Jermaine Illuminor is the best right tackle the Giants have had since Kareem McKenzie. The Giants have improved at the offensive line position. And what stinks is it's not being talked about because you're 1-3. But you gave up 85 sacks last year. You might not give up 50 sacks this year. Malik Nabers, you got a stud. You got a game changer. You got a blue chip prospect. You got a guy that every single week the opposing team's defensive coordinator says, we cannot let Malik Nabers beat us. We cannot let number one be the guy that gets the ball. They've said that for 3 weeks now, and he continues to do it. 15 more targets, 12 more catches, 115 more yards, and 30 yards after the catch. You have a blue chip talent on offense. You have potentially a guy that might be a top 5 receiver in the NFL. That's awesome. So you've added an elite wide receiver who's already playing big time. You improved on the offensive line. Go add another playmaker this offseason. Go add another guy that puts pressure on a defense when he's out there, where they can't just focus in on one, where they can't just take away one, where it can't be we can't let Malik Nabers beat us. Add somebody else that puts some fear into a defense. Also, round of applause for Kayvon Thibodeau. I've been very critical of Kayvon Thibodeau. He had his first sack against the Dallas Cowboys last night. He was held 2 times, drew 2 holdings, 5 pressures, 4 QB hurries, 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 5 pressures. Kayvon Thibodeau, albeit against a rookie offensive lineman in Guyton, he whooped him. That's what good players do. They whoop the people they're supposed to whoop. So Kayvon Thibodeau's coming around. Your offensive line is improved. You got a blue chip prospect. A lot to be excited about for this football team. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's not next year. But I do see some light at the end of the tunnel. Giants are a good quarterback away from competing in this league. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we aren't going anywhere. 1-3, 1-8, 1-16. We're going to be here all season long. Free videos, multiple times, every single day. So subscribe and turn notifications on. And thank you to everybody that has subscribed. We crossed over 56,000 subscribers. An unreal accomplishment. Thank you. The foundation for this football team is there. The bricks have been laid. The offensive line has improved. Your fifth overall pick, Kayvon Thibodeau, showed some life. Brian Burns is a good football player. I know people are coming at his neck because he didn't have a pressure last night, whatever it may be. Don't forget the strip sack he just had against Cleveland. You got a great wide receiver. The Giants have a solid base for a rookie QB. The last thing you want to do is draft a rookie QB and he comes into a situation where doesn't have any help, doesn't have any protection, has nobody to throw the football to, doesn't have a defense that can get stops, doesn't have a defense that plays complementary football, doesn't have a defense that takes the ball away, doesn't have any playmakers. Giants kind of has that. And Brian Daboll, at times, impressed me last night. On Thursday night. I don't think Brian Daboll called an A+ game. I don't think Brian Daboll called an A game. But somewhere in the B's, I think Brian Daboll did a good job. Think about it like this. Giants went toe-to-toe with the Cowboys. And look at our roster and look at their roster. That's coaching. Brian Daboll coached a good enough game to win that football game last night on Thursday night. He impressed me at times. Too conservative at times? Yes. But he's also trying to run an explosive offense while driving a minivan. He's having to call games left-handed. Brian Daboll got this job because he was able to be explosive and aggressive and take risks with Josh Allen. Now they're asking him to call the game left-handed. You got a quarterback who can't throw the ball downfield. You got a quarterback that doesn't change the game. You got a quarterback that can't complete passes. Shane Bowen has also impressed me in the last 2 weeks. I was very quick to come up here after week 1 and rip Shane Bowen. I was very quick to come up here after week 2 and rip Shane Bowen. He deserved both those rippings. But man, he coached a hell of a game last night. You held the Dallas Cowboys to 20 points. You held the Dallas Cowboys to 6 points in the second half. How many times did we see the Giants kick a field goal to keep the game in one possession last night and say, Giants got to get a stop. Giants got to get the ball back. Giants got to get off the field. And what did they do time and time again? Got the ball back, got to stop, and got off the field. Giants defense has been sneaky good. They have been sneaky good. They allowed 21 points in week 1. Didn't allow a touchdown in week 2. They dominated the Browns in week 3. And in week 4, you allowed 2 touchdowns and 20 total points to the Cowboys. In the 3 losses this year, the Giants defense has allowed 5 total touchdowns. And somehow you have lost 3 ball games. Their defense is only going to get better, too. The more that players get more comfortable with this system, the more players learn to trust themselves, the more Deonte Banks grows, the more Kayvon Thibodeau grows, the more Brian Burns grows, the more pressure you can take off Dexter Lawrence. I truly do believe the Giants are a much better roster than a lot of people thought. And I truly do believe Giants are a good quarterback away from consistently winning football games and consistently being a tough beat in this league. Hopefully they can find that guy this offseason. If you love the New York Giants, hit that thumbs up icon. Look, it's easy to quit now, but I'm not quitting, and you better not quit on me. Hit that thumbs up icon and make sure you all follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for thinking the Giants are a quarterback away from competing? I don't know. I don't think I am. What up, Matthew O? What up, man? EJ Gonzalez, what up, bro? $5 super chat. Says, we need to have Marsh playing QB and Smitty calling the plays to get back to relevance.
I used to run a mean spread offense back in the Powder Puff days in high school. Running reverses, pre-snap motion. It was dynamic. I was called the Mike McDaniel of my time.
Really?
Yes.
Kind of like a little Brian Daboll in Buffalo?
Yeah, bro. A little Brian Daboll in Buffalo. We were explosive. We had a dynamic playmaking quarterback back there. So we were lucky. We were gifted with some speed on the outside as well. So I was calling some good offenses. We got robbed one year, but we were champs eventually.
Matt, I appreciate that. Yeah, look, thing is, we all want the same thing. We all want the same thing. We want to win football games. Ridiculous. Bush Kid, what up? It's my brother. $10 super chat. Thank you to the Bush Kid. Marsh. Daniel Jones got to go. He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Blue Balls Jones. Fernando. Bench Jones, DeVito rest of the year, and QB in the draft. I'm big lock guy. I want Lock to play.
I put on.
Right, work for NASA. I want Lock to play.
He's got swag, man. He'll take some chances down the field.
He'll throw the ball.
Listen, Malik Nabers will still get the football, I promise.
He'll throw it deep. He's got a cannon. He'll throw it. Go, everyone, when you're done watching today's show, go YouTube. Drew Lock versus the Philadelphia Eagles 2023.
Yep.
Tell me if you think Daniel Jones can make that throw.
Went 93 yards.
Think Daniel Jones making that throw to Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Had a little bit of zip on it, too. Daniel Jones never has zip on his football.
He's got nothing on that football except...
He had Willie Mays, Malik Nabers, center field, pop fly, waiting for it. It's hanging.
If it's fair, it's gone. B-Town Cool. What's up, homie? Hope we can fix things because I'm sick of losing to the Cowboys and I want to beat them. Daniel Jones has never beat Dak Prescott.
Daniel Jones has never beat Dak Prescott.
Cha says, can Jones be put on the practice squad? This way we don't even have to look at him in a New York Giants. Should we start a petition? I have been told that we should start a petition on this channel by my bosses. If we had a petition and everybody that super chatted next week's game gets their name on the petition, and I will send it to 1925 Giants Way, right? Is that what it's called? Should we do it?
I don't know.
Me either. We're about to do a mailbag to close today's show. If you want to get your question featured on it, you got a super chat to get on the show. A lot of super chats have come in, and we always show first love to them.
I just want to see how many we can use here.
Golden says I would sign.
All right, there's one.
To cut Daniel Jones, bench Daniel Jones, or practice squad Daniel Jones. Logan says, I hope we keep Daboll. I didn't like what I saw from Daboll in that Washington game, but I've liked what I've seen since. And I may have jumped the gun on saying he should be fired. But Mr. Rick, if you do that, oh my goodness, that would be electric. Nope. How does Jalen Hyatt stink when he was good last year with a quarterback that threw the ball downfield? He stinks because we don't have a quarterback that can get him the ball. He was fine with Tyrod Taylor. He was fine with Tommy DeVito. I think you should do it. I think Mr. Rick should do it. Okay. I guess if you want to say it like that. Typhoon Culver, what's up, bro? Yeah, I don't think it's fair to say he stinks because of them, though. He's just not able to be good because of them, which I guess. You want to word it the way you want to word it, go ahead.
Michael P.
Michael Pinto!
He's getting the mailbag, baby.
What happened to using DJ in the running game? I wanted the same thing. I thought he was a dual threat. I thought the same thing. That's when he at his best in 2022. I thought the same thing. He looks slow now. I mean, he is coming off a torn ACL. Yeah. Just not that guy anymore, Michael. Which is kind of crazy because he was never really that guy. Never really that guy to begin with.
Most explosive rush of his career, he tripped over himself.
Giants did score that drive.
They did score?
They did.
Yeah. Who got in the end zone there? The running back or something?
Probably.
DJ probably didn't chuck that thing in.
Might have been Wayne Gallman.
Wayne Train!
The Wayne Train.
The Wayne Train. DJ don't throw the ball past the pylon. He didn't do it all at once last night. Oh my gosh!
Bronx Boy says he is a dual threat. Can't throw and can't pass. Snowboarding Addict says, Bronx Boy, that was mean. He'll be okay. He's making $46 million this year, second highest paid player in the NFL.
Yep.
Second highest paid player in the NFL. Second highest paid player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All righty. Let's do a mailbag. If you want to be featured on it, you got to send in a super chat. Let's ride. It's mailbag time here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. For the next 10 or so minutes, we're just going to answer questions from subscribers. This video was recorded on Friday following the Thursday Night Football loss. So if you need a therapy session, grab some popcorn and sit down. Michael Pinto, what up, man? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, is it crazy to think that we are QB and a playmaking corner away from being a playoff team. I feel like we are better than the Texans when they before they hit on Stroud and found a head coach in DeMeco Ryans. I do believe the Giants are a quarterback away from competing. A playoff team, I'm not so sure. I think if you put Josh Allen on the Giants, they could go to the Super Bowl because that's how good quarterbacks do. They elevate teams. Just give me a good quarterback. Give me a guy that at least raises the ceiling and wins games sometimes that he's not supposed to win. I think if the Giants add a good quarterback next year, or they find a good quarterback, or they add, Giants are a quarterback away from competing. That's where I'll settle on that. They're not doing much competing right now. Mike G, love your work, man. Love you, bro. Says, you said it best. We as Giants fans deserve better. What do we need to fix more, Jones or the secondary? Because Banks looks rough. I would say the offense in general, Mike G, because the Giants have played 4 games this year, and in 50% of them, they did not score an offensive touchdown. In the 3 losses this year, the Giants have suffered to the Vikings, to the Cowboys, and to the Commanders. Those teams combined have scored 5 touchdowns. So in the 3 games the Giants have lost, their defense has given up less than 2 touchdowns a game. The Giants' offense needs to improve drastically, and it starts with the guy that is the second highest paid player in the NFL this year. Bear 315, not defending Jones, but do you think he's injured still and it's just hiding it? Something ups. He made these passes before. Hurt, not hurt, whatever it is, he's just not good enough to be a starting quarterback in this league for this team. He's good enough to occasionally win you some games. He's not good enough to be a franchise quarterback that can have sustained success. His arm is shot. I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if he even had a great arm at one point. I don't know what it is, Bear. Hamza Network. They need to give Tommy DeVito a chance. He had 8 TDs and only 3 interceptions last year with a bad O-line and a wide receiver. Think of what he can do with the weapons we have. I want to look at Locke before we look at DeVito. You gave Locke $5 million this offseason. Locke has won some games in the NFL before. I know DeVito won games last year. But Locke was a second-round pick. You gave him $5 million. I want to see Locke get like at least 3 or 4 games before we decide to turn the season over to Tommy Collins. Rob Simpy, what's up, man? Is it too early to start the tank for draft picks? It feels like it, man. It's not really my style because probably the thing that brings me the most joy in life is the Giants winning a football game. And you only get so many of these Sundays in your life. And I know that sometimes you need to have short-term sacrifices for long-term goals. It's really hard for me to root for the Giants to lose, though. I won't ever tell anyone how to fan. I just don't know if I can do it. How do the Giants turn it around? How do the Giants turn it around? Someone help me out in the chat. How do the Giants turn it around? Randall Owens, what up, man? Trade Slayton. What can we get your opinion? I think you got to trade him, right? I mean, he's a free agent at the end of the year. He can't catch the football. He's got the funk of losing on him. Giants need to detox their organization of some of these players. Trade him, get a 5th or a 6th round pick, and then develop Jalen Hyatt. And if Hyatt doesn't grow by the time you trade Slayton to the end of the year, then you go draft another receiver. Either way, you still need another receiver. How about you give the guy you drafted in the 3rd round and trade it up to draft a chance? I don't know. That's what I think could make some sense. Make sure you are rocking your Malik Nabers jersey on game day. Go to chatsports.com/neighbors. Chatsports.com/neighbors. The best, quickest, cheapest way to get a Malik Nabers jersey. Royal Martin, what's up, man? Would you rather DJ win these close games and keep his job or keep things interesting? We lose. He'll lose his job at the end of the year. If I can go back and win the games we're supposed to win, if the Giants were 3-1, my answer would be win these close games. But the Thursday night game was a fork in the road game for this team, for me, and for Daniel Jones in his career. You win, you're 2-2, you got the monkey off your back. You won a primetime game, you beat Dak, you beat the Cowboys. But you didn't. And now you're 0-13 on primetime outside of Sundays. You've never beat Dak Prescott. And you've never beat the Cowboys when they had Dak Prescott. At this point, I don't even know how I'm supposed to answer this. I'm not rooting for losses. I think they should just try Drew Lock. Try Drew Lock. Move on. Try Drew Lock. Tone Lamont. If Joe and Daboll keep Jones next year, hopefully not, what position do they address round one? And what should be the first position target in free agency? If Brian Daboll and Joe Shane tell John Mara they want to keep Daniel Jones, they should be fired. They should be fired. There's no reason in the world to keep Daniel Jones on the roster next year. If you cut him, you save $22 million. If you don't, he's on the books for $46 million. There is no reason in the world to keep Daniel Jones on this football team. I don't even want to entertain this question, Tone, because if this is reality, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Michael Pinto. What happened to using DJ in the running game? I thought he was a dual threat, in some capacity at least. That's when he was at his best in 2022. Yeah, he looks slow against the Cowboys. Tough to come back from a torn ACL. Usually you see the guys get back to full speed 24 months removed from that. We don't got 24 months. One of the only good things about his game was his ability to be athletic. Not really that guy anymore. Rob Jigga, Belichick and Beck in 2025. If the draft was tonight, Giants hold the 4th overall pick. I need some positives from last night. Sorry, got here late. I know I was the guy saying to fire Brian Daboll after Washington. I think he's cooled his seat with the last 2 games. I think he's called a good game, and I think he's gotten his team and put his team in position to be successful. So I'm not ready to fire Brian Daboll. Probably an overreaction from me. I was just very upset. I'm not ready to say which quarterback I want, but Beck is definitely in my top 5, but he's closer to 5 than 1. Positives last night, the Giants have closed the gap against the Cowboys, and I truly think they're a quarterback away from beating the Cowboys. Core, when is ownership to blame? Yesterday. Last week. Last month. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll give you the exact date. March 7th, 2023. The day Daniel Jones signed his contract extension. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Same handle on IG. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue. Snowboarding Addict says you guys need to be patient. It's year 6. It's year fucking 6. Sorry for cussing. I won't stop.
Year 6.
How much longer? Like, legitimately, how much longer do we have to wait for a touchdown?
A TD.
I'm asking for 1 touchdown. Notice I'm not even saying touchdowns. I don't have any excuses for Tooney Eli. Deontay Banks needs to pick it the hell up. Deontay Banks is looking like a bust. Patient? You are a patient. Can't say the rest, but Bronx Boy, that is hilarious. He's not even a good CB2. Got cooked by buddy on the Browns, Cedric Tillman, to get a first down to keep the game alive in the 4th quarter, and Tillman freaking dropped it. He pulled a Darius Slayton. Chef says y'all really give rookies no grace. Well, Deontay Banks isn't a rookie. Daniel Jones isn't a rookie. Evan Neal's not a rookie. Scott Hernan, yeah, buddy. What's up, Scott Hernan?
Go.
Just be patient, Smitty.
It's just one play.
Just one play, right? Yeah, no, the rookie class this year has been really good, Tooney. As my computer just died. Rookie class has been better. But it's the National Football League. NFL, not for long. It's not the NBA where rookies get 7 years to get it right. All righty. We are going to sign off and try to enjoy our weekends. Shout out to Smitty for pushing the ones and the twos. Shout out to B-Town Cool. He says, why can't Giants fans get a break? Because John Mara sold his soul for the helmet catch.
That's exactly what happened.
He said, God, if we win this game, I don't want to win ever again.
Don't let me win another.
On a serious note, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate you. This was good for me. I needed this. I needed the laughs. You guys are the best. Hopefully the Giants can be the best one day. We'll be back with videos the rest of the week. We're live on Monday, and it's Seahawks week. Let's go, Big Blue.